Okay, so I want to do a quick overview of the life cycle of planting an assembly or a church. We've got a nice little nugget in Acts chapter 14 that gives us this just overview of how Paul and Barnabas go through the life cycle in planting an assembly. All right, and the chronology is a little strange, but the order of steps is pretty clear. Okay, so let's take a look at that right here. All right, I'm going to read from Acts 14, verses 21 through 23. All right, and after they proclaimed the good news in that city and made many disciples, look at that. They went through a city and a locale proclaiming the gospel. And the result of it is they made many disciples. After they proclaimed the good news in that city and made many disciples, they, that's Paul and Barnabas, returned to Lystra and to Iconium and to Antioch. Now that's their backstop. Because the assembly that sent them out to do the labor of apostleship was the local assembly in Antioch, okay? Does that make sense? So they kind of go through, this is them working backwards geographically. They went out from Antioch to multiple geographical areas. Okay, and then they went backwards, heading back to Antioch. Luke is trying to describe this process in shorthand very quickly. Okay, Luke is the one who wrote Acts. The same disciple that wrote the Gospel of Luke wrote the book of Acts. Okay, so they're returning to Lystra and to Iconium and to Antioch, and as they're going along, they're strengthening the souls of the disciples. People are still thought of as disciples. Paul and Barnabas make disciples. They strengthen the souls of the disciples, encouraging them to continue in the faith. I'd like to translate that, continue in the faithfulness of the Messiah. Okay, continue in the faithfulness of the Messiah. To continue in the faith. And saying, through many persecutions, it is necessary for us to enter into the kingdom of God. And when they had appointed elders for them in every church, and we get it, ecclesia, when they had appointed elders for them in every church, after praying with fasting, they entrusted them to the Lord in whom they had believed. Okay? The one that they had deemed faithful. It's helpful to say to continue in the faithfulness of the Messiah. Okay? Which makes sense as to why Paul and Barnabas would then entrust these communities, okay, these churches, they would then entrust them to the Messiah that they had deemed faithful. When we say the Messiah is faithful, and the gospel is the faithfulness of Messiah, and then we talk about us moving in faithfulness, we mean moving in the faithfulness of the Messiah. Not our own faithfulness, but imitating the Messiah through the power of the Messiah working within us. Everything can be boiled down to the faithfulness of the Messiah. It's actually a way to describe the entire gospel. And it's a way that Paul will often write about saying, he says it in multiple letters, hey, if there's anything lacking in your faithfulness, my job as an apostle is to show up there and through spiritual gifting equip you so that we fill what's lacking in your faithfulness. Okay? So hold your question. We'll move on. Okay. GoPro, stop recording.